So the document in front of you isn't just a document. Oh no, this is huge news when it comes to Johnny Depp versus AH. Not only that, in my opinion, it is a massive win for Johnny Depp because it forces one thing that AH doesn't want. It forces transparency. See, despite all of the terrible things AH did, one thing people don't give her credit for is the fact that she remained on the offensive for 3+ years. That meant getting the media on her side, making sure Hollywood stuck with those proverbial guns, and the way that she did it was with spin. Wait, no, not Inception. Well, maybe Inception, but no, not that. Cue the other picture. Yeah, spin. Wait, no, not spin cycling. Forget it. Now, aside from the 14 total incidents that you were never supposed to question, charitable donations were the one thing that made AH beyond reproach. I mean, after all, she gave millions to Children's Hospital LA. She had to be a good person, right? Well, she didn't want this talked about. She never has. But, well, a judge had said this and more. It's going to be discussed. So I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you the fear. I'm going to show you this decision, and we're going to laugh about it a lot. You know why? Because this, I'm telling you, there is something wrong in it. We're going to find out about something devastating, and we're going to point our fingers a lot, and we're going to laugh. You are one of those terrible wrong thinkers. The thing is, the more that we get into things, the more that this indeed is questionable. And really, I understand that desperation because it precedes a courtroom revelation where the media and Hollywood, they understand that they bought into the fake smiles and they bought into the batted eyelashes, and they defended someone that not only did terrible things to Johnny Depp, but took away from a children's hospital. So let's point our fingers and laugh a bit, and yeah, let's go over all this crazy. So hey there. So today, you and I, we are in for a bit of a laugher as we return to that wonderful, wonderful courtroom drama that is Johnny Depp versus AH 2021. Now, I know some people get confused on this. This is not Johnny Depp versus The Sun 2020. We're still waiting on a decision for. This is an upcoming trial in which we're going to see so much more, and this information, well, it's just the proverbial tip of the iceberg. Now, what's astounding about this one subject is it is the thing that AH's team has tried desperately, desperately to keep out of the courtroom. They didn't try this hard about Poopgate or cigarettes or missing fingers. Oh no, quite the contrary. And they've been pushing for new information like 50 to 51 audio recordings we haven't seen from one source, dozens of other people. But this thing, well, look at what they've been trying to do. So here you have the real Laura B. And you should follow the real Laura B, by the way, but she's talking about this. As far as AH donating $7 million in divorce settlement to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital LA, as she insisted, well, if she did, wouldn't she be thrilled to have the chance to scream to the world and show her receipts? IMO, she never donated the money. Why hide it? She'd look like a hero. And that's actually a really, really good point. This is somebody that has utilized the media, again, to keep any type of claims from sticking to her. So why would she hide this? Oh yeah, because if it turns out not to be true, well then, that media, they might not be so friendly anymore. So this is the attachment to post 1 of 2, and this stuff is very important to understand because it showcases, again, the desperation to keep these specific questions out of the courtroom. So you see this further on the motions to narrow areas of inquiry. They don't want people asking about this. And well, you can see what they note at the bottom. Children's Hospital /ACLU information on donations. They want this area to be narrow, so you cannot ask questions about it. Why? Very, very good question. Now, if you think that seemed interesting, in the words of some unnamed bard, you ain't seen nothing yet. Here's Laura B's second post attached to that, and oh, this stuff is so good. It seemed reasonable that the jury should know that AH is a habitual liar on many things with absolute no regard for the law, so it is reasonable to believe that she lied about Depp, relevant to test the veracity of defendant in general. Sounds interesting, no? Now this is where things, they really heat up. I love this document here, so really pay attention to what's being said. Evidence of the amount of AH's charitable donations should be excluded. Despite having no relevance to this case, plaintiff has repeatedly sought documents from third parties respecting the amount of defendant's charitable donations. You can see the attention to 2 subpoenas written up there, attention to 12 and 13 for the ACLU subpoena and the Children's Hospital subpoena. But the existence and the amount of defendant's charitable donations have absolutely no relevance to the claims and damages. The plaintiff contends such discovery is relevant to quote-unquote test the veracity of defendant in general, but in Virginia, quote, specific instances of the conduct of a witness may not be used to attach or support credibility, and also specific instances of the conduct of a witness may not be proved by extrinsic evidence. Now, if you look at that statement and you think, wait a minute, did her defense team say, I can't be judged because, hey, I lied to the courts, I lied to the media, and I lied to the guy that spent $7 million in this settlement? Well, look at this portion here and you tell me. So Rule 2-608 provides that, quote, impeaching the truthfulness of any witness can only be done by reputation proof and not by cluttering the record with evidence of specific incidents of that prior witness, quote unquote, lying or false behavior, and that, quote unquote, admitting the evidence of reputation formed as a result of one single incident is not proper. Wait. Did you catch that there? They said that lying or false behavior, that stuff, yeah, you can't learn anything about her there. And admitting evidence of reputation formed as the result of one single incident, that's not proper. So discussing this, well, just because she lied about it there, that doesn't mean she lied about those 14 other incidents that she's been talking about, now does it? Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Now, if that wasn't cut and dry enough for some parties and they still find themselves skeptical and on that proverbial fence, well, check out this list of demands that was ultimately struck down. By the way. So here you see the charitable donations are going to be brought up. And also, interestingly, AH's team, they want to limit damages given to Johnny Depp at the scope of discovery produced as of a specific date, meaning anything else you find out afterwards, yeah, you can't add on. Fascinating, isn't it? So here, first we have a demand about giving AH money. Defendant AH, by counsel, hereby motions this court for an order holding plaintiff Johnny Depp in contempt of 2 orders entered by this court on August 10th, 2020, related to plaintiff's discovery obligations and awarding sanctions against plaintiff in favor of defendant AH. Defendant further moves the court for an order to exclude certain evidence from the trial of this matter and specifically ask that this court enter an order ordering that. Now, I think that this was the reason for that document too. Not to put this in there, but to put this in there because, number 1, plaintiff's damages are limited to the scope of his discovery produced as of August 16th, 2020. Now, that date's fascinating considering we're talking about right at the Depp versus the Son libel trial. So anything found out in the aftermath, yeah, can't add that into damages. That says something, doesn't it? Number 2, all testimony, evidence, or references to allegations and or charges against AH, none of which resulted in conviction, are excluded from the trial of this matter. At first, I thought this was about the 2009 incident with Tasha Van Ree, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, references, allegations, plural. They're also probably talking about Homeland Defense. They're also talking about said puppies. And who knows what else may come up as well. Then we have number 3, which I think would be added to that. All testimony, evidence, or references to the amount of AH's charitable donations are excluded from the trial of this matter. This, like I said, it keeps coming up again and again again and again. And they don't want this coming to light because they know how bad that'll look. And number 4, all testimony, evidence, or references to claims by third parties of alleged hearsay statements by Paige A.H.'s mother are excluded from the trial of this matter. Now, that was a person that was close to the family, too, knew a lot about everything that went on there, and she said something interesting. She said that she would prove things if these people said that she was untruthful, and they said that and a lot more. And that all, of course, leads us to this document. This document that says this cause came on to be heard on the 25th day, September 2020, on that motion we just looked at, and upon the matters presented to the court at that hearing. Basically, what did they decide? Well, they decided that it's all denied. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, it's so good. This is going to be good because it is going to get even worse. If you thought Poopgate, losing fingers, and all of that stuff was bad, well, it's going to get even more interesting. Entered this day, the 25th of September, 2020. Oh, bravo. Bravo. Just when you think it can't get any more interesting, it definitely does. But anyway, leave me your comments on this. I think this is beautiful here. But yeah, let me know what you think about it. And as always, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. You make this stuff possible. Without you, it does not work. So thank you. I also want to mention the links in the description. If you want to help the channel out, we could definitely use that help. So different links there, including our comic book. Check it out if you have it. We need help getting that out there, getting that word out while we're still finalizing it. We still got some work to do. We got a lot done. And we have other links as well. Memberships, that basically give you more material, all types of stuff. But regardless of all of that, as always, again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. You'll make it work. So appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.